Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Spiritual Journey podcast. My name is Nimesh and I'm your host. I always love starting every episode by saying thank you. I feel so blessed with this podcast, the impact it's having, the people it's reaching. I started it as a passion project with maybe one episode every couple of months. Now I do 2 a week, and nothing's scripted, nothing's edited, everything's channeled, and I love it. So if you're a regular listener, welcome back. Thank you for your support. If you're new, again, welcome. Let us know if you have any feedback. And please do, if you like this episode, please do like, comment, share. It really does help. I am an Akashic record reader, Akashic trainer, podcast host, podcast creator, as well as a spiritual coach and mentor. What I get to do is I get to guide people on their journey, holding your space, really helping you to understand who you are, reducing the layers, and really kind of getting back to your light. I work through your 4 bodies. I have a beautiful mentorship program. I read Akashic records. But if my voice resonates, just book a free discovery call. Maybe we're meant to work together. As part of this podcast, I get to interview some amazing guests, and I'm excited to have Christy and Gary with me today. I recently met them. I love their energy. So I'm excited to see where this episode goes. And I'm going to start with Christy. Christy, I'd love for you to introduce yourself using your words.
All right. Well, thank you. Thanks for having us on today. My name is Christy Levy. I am a spiritual medium and channel course creator, I suppose you could say, and spiritual coach. And I've been working in this field for about 5 years with my partner, who can introduce himself.
Hi, Nims. I'm Gary Temple Bodley. I've become a channel in 2013. I channel a group of non-physical teachers known as Joshua. And since that time, we've channeled together 4 books. I had 2 podcasts. The most recent podcast is Joshua Live, which has been going on for 10 years now and over 700 channeling sessions in front of groups of people. We do retreats and we create courses, and we have the most recent course is called The Freedom Project. And how this all unfolded was I was living a completely normal life in business, lost everything in 2008, and in the attempt to try and get all my money back, I stumbled across The Secret, got really interested in that, and then found Abraham, Esther channeling Abraham, and was very excited by that, went to a lot of workshops and different things. And then lo and behold, I had the inspiration that was so strong to start meditating. And in 2013, I started meditating, and very quickly a presence came on the side of my head every day that I meditated. I started asking questions, and of course thought I was making it up like everyone does. One day, then I just said, "Who is this?" And they said, "We are Joshua." And that continued for a while until November 15th, 2013, where they said, "Get up and go right, right, right." And I went to my office and started just writing whatever came out, and that became the first book, A Perception of Reality. So that's, then I met Christy, then we had a whole adventure together, and later on, we're going to share what we do on our new podcast, which is called An Unimaginable Life.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you for sharing. So why don't we start with Gary very kindly told us about his earlier journey, then he introduced Christy and the magic of that connection. So Christy, why don't you tell us about that? How did you tell us a bit more about your journey and then how your connection came about?
Yeah. So like Gary, I had been listening to and following Abraham for a number of years. And I was looking for something else, right? Something new. And I found Gary's podcast. This was in 2019. And I listened for, I bet it wasn't 5 minutes. And I went, okay, this is it. This is that next step. It was something, I was stuck in that law of attraction.
Beautiful.
Just think positive, change your vibration. How do we do that? Just really stuck. And I had a great life, but I knew there was just more. I knew I could feel better. And so when I heard Joshua through Gary, I just knew it. So within a few days, I guess, I emailed Gary. He had a program called the Boot Camp. And so I emailed, had a phone call with Gary. I signed up for the boot camp. It's an 8-week course. It was pretty immersive. And one thing that he did was once you signed up and did the boot camp, you were in it for life. So every time he offered it 3 or 4 times a year, you could do it again. So I did it 8 times.
Nice.
And
Oh, wow.
after the 8th time, right? It was really good though. And after you do it a couple of times, it becomes pretty easy to fit it in to the schedule. I got used to meditating, used to automatic writing, those sorts of things. And the course was really
Beautiful.
designed to help you understand how to shift your vibration, which is your perspective on yourself and your reality. Really practical tools to help me uncover beliefs that were limiting me, process those, soften them so that they didn't limit me anymore. And after 8 boot camps in about 2 years, of course, Gary and I became friends, and we had a group of friends now in common. And I was at his house for Thanksgiving with some other friends. And I call them the dead people. The first dead person came through, and it happened to be a friend's grandmother there. It felt like overnight and fully realized. It was very clear from the very beginning. I didn't believe it, just like Gary was saying. I didn't believe in mediums at the time. I thought that was crap. I was pretty skeptical about that.
Fair enough.
Right? Channeling even. I knew that Joshua was real. I knew Abraham was real. I didn't know there were any other channels on the planet. I just, I knew it was weird and I didn't tell a lot of people about it. But
Yeah.
So then with Gary's encouragement and the encouragement of that wonderful community of that we had built then, I started following it, and it just got stronger and stronger and stronger. And within that, about a year, I started channeling a group called White Light, and Gary helped me with that. And in that, it was fun for him because he didn't get to ask questions. He was the channel, and he was always answering
Nice.
questions for other people. But I know it was difficult for him getting his own answers. It's just seems to be like that for a lot of us. So once I was channeling White Light, he was excited, and he just, okay, let's do that, So I would do it for hours and hours and hours. And I think until, he realized, wait, this is really good. And he just kind of surprised me one day and said, you're going to go on, instead of Joshua, you're going to do White Light in front of this group of people. So then I got comfortable. And from then we really started working together and creating courses together, doing retreats together. And really making that journey. It was a complete switch in career for me. So it's been really fun. I would never have done it without him pulling me along in it. So here we sit.
Beautiful. I love it. That's a beautiful soul contract, right? There's that, the contract you have to kind of hold each other's space. And, see, even the dates are interesting, right? Because for me, 2012, 2013 was the beginning of a cycle, and 2019 was the beginning of another cycle. And it's just like, the dates just, they're human dates, but they do kind of help you understand the cycles and the shifts. And, but I'm curious, Gary, is there anything else you want to mention about the connection you guys made and how it felt for you?
Yeah, it was really interesting. We were really good friends, but we were in our own relationships. And then just over a period of time, my relationship ended and Chrissy's ended, and we got together. And the first weekend we spent together, we were in a hotel, and we were just sitting there on the bed talking about how strange it was for comedians and rock stars, so many of them, to die young. And that's just a normal conversation. Later on, we're, maybe half hour later, we're on the patio, on the balcony of the hotel room, and something is playing with Christy's hair. And I'm like, well, let's find out who it is. And so we got all these clues like we normally do. And it turned out it was Chris Farley. So here's a comedian who died young coming in to talk to us about this. And so we talked about all kinds of spiritual things, talked about his life, and that was like an hour. And then a half an hour later, Tom Petty comes through. So here's a rock star who died young, and get to talk about this. And oh my God, it was so incredible. But this kept happening. We would be somewhere and someone famous would come through. And we must have had 30 of these conversations. For instance, my birthday is January 8th, and David Bowie comes through on my birthday because he has the same birthday.
Nice.
And then Then one day, Christy goes, I have these 3 songs playing in my head all at the same time. And we figured out those were 3 Prince cover songs. And so I said, this has got to be Prince. And so Prince comes
songs
through,
he had written,
and for
I think, yeah.
Yeah. For the first time, I said, oh my God, we got to record this. We hadn't even thought of recording all the other ones. And so I get my phone out and we just sit on the patio or on my porch of my house and we start recording. And it was a 4-hour conversation with Prince. It was all very spiritual because they talk about their perspective from the non-physical and how their life was perfect based in their pre-birth intentions. So they talk about their pre-birth intentions and then they talk about, how they were, how they saw their life and they didn't really understand what was going on or did to an extent. Anyway, that became the first podcast episode of An Unimaginable Life. And then we just started doing this every week and getting a group of people to come in, and we never know who's going to come through. It's always 2 people, and they come to talk about a specific spiritual topic. And each episode, they go to the next level. So one builds on top of the next one.
Beautiful.
So we'll do that here later on, and they will come specifically to talk to you probably about something that you're thinking about now or interested in, some spiritual topic, some clarification. We were on a podcast a little while ago, and the woman the host had written a book called How to Change Your Perception. And so Lucille Ball and who else was on that one? I think Franz Mesmer came in to talk about its perspective comes before perception. One's perspective generates their perception. And it was really fascinating for her. So we'll see who comes through today.
Beautiful. I look forward to it. And so all these beings, all these souls, all these, whatever you want to call them, come through to both of you? Because normally it's kind of like one or the other, right? So how does that work? You have a conversation, both of you have a conversation with whichever entities come through. Is that how it works?
No, I'll take that just quickly. One thing is that I'm the only one who gets the
okay.
Everyone's getting it, but
Sure.
when they
ways.
come through, I am oddly, I have a couple of things going on that make this really interesting. One, I'm not particularly curious. I don't ask a lot of questions. I wasn't even that curious about how the universe works. I just wanted to feel better when I started this spiritual. I wasn't one of those seekers of right. What is all this about? What is the meaning of life? I know. So I'm not like that. I also don't have the ability to conjure images, like guided meditations and things. When somebody says picture a butterfly, I can't do it unless I have a real solid memory of something, and then I can only see that one thing. So when this stuff started coming through, that's one way that I knew I'm not making this up, because I can't do that. This stuff was getting dropped.
Beautiful.
But the flip side of that, this match, is that he's endlessly curious. Why this? Why that? Why is this? Why is the sky blue? Right? All of these things, constantly asking questions. So when I get someone, he takes off. He's just asking questions. Otherwise, I wouldn't.
Oh, nice.
I wouldn't at all. He asked a question of me one time when I was first channeling white light, and he asked something really complicated, and I said, I don't know. And he said, I'm not asking you. Ask them, right? Ask them. And then I was able to channel this really complex answer, and I see. And it happens all the time. He'll say, well, did you ask? No, I didn't ask. It's just funny. That's the dynamic.
When we are, But what I've realized is when we're doing this together, we are a dyad, and so she has her part, I have my part. A field gets created with the conversation, with whoever's, if there's people involved, listeners, whoever will hear it. And so we get in a field and I get the questions to ask. I don't make up these questions.
Yeah.
Something is giving me the questions to ask. And then sometimes when we're on a group call, I'll have these questions, and then blank. And then someone in the group steps up with a question, which is really interesting.
Right.
I love that. I love how the yin and yang of soul contracts work, right? It's that, I mean, nothing's ever complete. It's always work in progress, but it's like how I feel like we're moving into a phase of even more into collaboration and community, and the way you guys collaborate kind of works, right? It's that connection of a beautiful soul contract.
It's
Never
fascinating.
could have set it up. Right?
It
Couldn't
is.
have imagined it that way and set it up. There's no way. Right.
Yeah.
This is just the magic, right? This is the magic that's around us. I love it. It's so beautiful, and it feels so natural.
Yeah.
Christy, do you ever get frustrated about too many questions? Is there ever a point? Can you stop with the questions? I'm just curious.
Well,
Yeah.
Okay, I say no, but yeah, absolutely. There's a point because I guess it's disrespectful in a way, but it's just my relationship with them. I call them the dead people. Whenever it's either a loved one of someone or whatever comes through, I say the dead people. But it tends to make me very tired after a session or two. I can get really strange energetically for me. So he will go on and on and on. And I'll say, okay, I need to stop. But one more question. Yeah. Answer that. But one more, and there's a point where I say we're done. That's it. No more questions.
And actually, that's really important to manage your energy, because you're raising a vibration, and if you stay there too long, it's going to affect you more physically. So I feel the nudge is really
definitely
important.
Does. Right. I would never have thought that in a million years, but it really does affect it in a strong way. Yeah.
Oh, no,
Not when she's channeling, though.
Huh?
Yeah. When we're channeling, we're both the same. We get up there, and she'll get up to white light. I'll get up to Joshua. Come back. It's it's a little tiring because they're moving me around a lot, and I have to focus. But it's totally different for the dead people. Somehow that's weird. It's a different kind of thing.
Totally different.
We don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we don't need
no
to.
idea.
Right? It's just, but it's interesting you call them dead people. It's just, because it's like, it's interesting when people die, right? It's like two of my guides I know is one was my mentor on the planet, and the other, she passed away in a fire, March 2020, and the other is my dad. But so many of the other beings around me, I don't need to know who they are, but I feel their vibration. But yeah, I don't remember seeing a connection like you guys have, where two people are in sync in the way that you are. And it's like, it's beautiful. I love it. I love it. So, and we'll kind of jump on to the channeling at some point soon, but I'm just curious if anyone's listening and they wanted to kind of build a deeper connection to whoever or whatever, dead people or whatever, however you want to call it. Any advice would you have for them to kind of allow them to build that deeper connection?
What we've learned through, and I don't know anything, right? This is just what we've learned.
Yeah.
So I don't want to say that I know, but it does seem like the most important thing, the most beneficial thing, is your perspective of yourself in your reality, in every area of your life. Two possible perspectives. You're the victim to your reality, simply meaning you believe that the outside conditions of people make you feel something, and you're very heavily invested in wrong and bad. And from that, you try to control conditions and people. You hold on vigilantly. You try to manage outcomes. And this blocks any connection. The shift happens when you move from that perspective to the other perspective, which is you are the creator of your reality, meaning that you have a set of beliefs. Some are empowering, some are limiting, and all of those beliefs have different intensities. This combines to form a mental construct, which is the lens by which you view your world, your perception of reality. That then becomes a perspective. And that perspective is translated into a vibration. The vibration is emitted from you, and your reality organizes around that vibration specifically to show you your belief system. Joshua uses this term called manifestation events. A manifestation event is any experience where you feel either positive or negative emotion. If you feel negative emotion, it's only because a limiting belief has been triggered by this experience and you've dropped your perspective compared to your inner self's perspective. You have an experience where you feel positive emotion because an empowering belief has been triggered and your perspective shifts closer to your inner self's perspective, who is always holding the perspective of perfection without fear, right? There is no fear in the non-physical. Fear only exists in a physical reality. And in this earth reality, it's heightened because there's an illusion of separation that is not present in other realities to this degree. So to shift your perspective, there's two things you can do. One is look at your limiting beliefs. So a manifestation event happens, you feel negative emotion, and instead of blaming the person or the conditions for why you feel bad, you say, hold on, a belief must have been triggered. Let's see if I can find that belief. And then we have a whole 5-page form it's called a manifestation event form. And you go through a series of looking at what the belief could be, what the emotions were, the emotions tell you the belief, what desire is not getting met because you think this is blocking it. And then you find evidence in your own life that proves that limiting belief is false. And over time, this reduces the intensity of limiting beliefs so that when you receive inspiration is always paired with fear. So anytime you're inspired to do something, I have the inspiration to call my mom. I don't want to call my mom. She's going to talk on the phone. And she's being not, she may be busy. She may blow me off, whatever it is. That's fear. Okay. So it always comes with inspiration. If you can push past the fear and act on the inspiration, it'll move you into an experience that will shift your perspective, right? And so what most people do is they get inspiration, but they don't want to take the action because the fear is too strong. So we work with those limiting beliefs first and reduce those so that the fear is less strong when inspiration happens. And this, over time, leads you to just receiving lots of inspiration, trusting that inspiration, taking lots of different action, just like we're talking today, right? So we had to push past fear to come on to your podcast. You had to push past fear to invite us on. That's always going to be there. But
Sure.
we have enough experience that every time we go on someone's podcast, we make new friends. It's always fun to do. And so, like anything, the first time you do it, there's a little bit of trepidation, but the more you do it, somehow that changes the belief structure. So experience is what really changes belief structures.
I love it. And what's courage, right? It's having a fear and doing it anyway, right? And and it builds the vibration. It raises you somehow. So that's beautiful.
It does. And your desire has to be in there where if your desire is really great and the fear is somewhat low, you'll always do it. But if the desire is mild and the fear is great, you're not going to. And that fear just comes up because of those limiting beliefs, and they're all self-imposed. If you understand that and you start looking at those beliefs as you feel that negative emotion or face that fear, you can absolutely uncover what they are. It's not always easy, but the path to do it that Gary channeled is I can do it in 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 2 hours. It depends, but it's so easy to do. But doing that over and over again in that boot camp, I did one of those forms every day, every time I had some sort of emotion, whether it was positive or negative. And it shifted my belief structure so much that my perspective on myself just blew up. And I wasn't aware of it. It didn't happen overnight. It was over a couple of years. But when your vibration gets that high, then your psychic abilities are just there. They just show up in front of you. They're always there. Anyone can do what I do. But
Yeah.
I just did that work, and that's what does it. If you want to connect with someone on the other side, you clearly can, probably a much clearer, better communication than you had when they were with you in life. But the only way to do that is meditate and do the work. You have to soften those beliefs until you get to a place where your vibration is high enough that you can hear it. And then it's easy.
Yeah. Yeah. No, and I love it. And it's like what you guys talk about doing the work, right? It's that I don't feel spirituality is complicated. I never said it was easy, but I feel like it's relatively simple. You do the work, it goes through the cycles, release, kind of. And Gary, it's like the way you said at the beginning. I say all the time, I know nothing. I don't hold on to anything. It's not mine. I don't, And it means
It's
that
so funny, because I used to go around saying I know new stuff 10 years ago, but that guy didn't know anything compared to now.
Well, it allows you to be an open vessel, right? It allows you to just do new things. It's like, why do we complicate? Anything I know is in here, and this is not going to get me to shift things. This is going to come from here. It's going to come from, so
Exactly.
I know nothing. I feel like we take things too seriously sometimes, but
That's for sure.
So my third eye's been going since we started this conversation. So I feel like we just need to jump in and allow you guys to channel. It's been like, okay, let's have the human conversation, but it's like going to be a bit like, all right.
Yeah, this is the fun part.
Yeah. Let's.
It is really fun. Yeah, it's super fun.
Yeah,
okay, so I'm going to get my phone out because we don't know who they are, so I have to. They'll give us clues, and I'll Google the clues and then try and figure out who they are from there. It takes a couple minutes sometimes.
I'll let you guys drive wherever you want to go.
Yeah, and you can try to guess too.
Comes to you, if a thought comes to you, it's likely getting through, and just blurt it out.
Mm-hmm.
Happy to.
Yeah, and this is not like they don't have to do it this way. They can just tell me who they are, but something about this discovery makes it fun, and that's why they play the game. They just give me these crazy clues. It's really fun. Okay. Pretty still energy. It's a bell sound, like across a valley, almost like a bell ringing. Little stone walls, big stone walls. What is that I see? It's like a monastery. Okay. Male, for sure. The first one, anyway. Male. I can hear something. I have no idea where I'm going. No idea where I'm going. It's a funny thing to say. All right, so the visual is a mountain. Now I can see a mountain. But sort of carved right in it is an elevator shaft. And he's being very clear that there's 7 floors inside this. And this elevator goes up and down 7 floors in this mountain. Okay. It's funny. It's a real still energy. Like somebody who's meditating. So I'm definitely going to say he's like a monk or a priest or something. January. $1915, 1915. Yeah. I just keep saying the letter M. That's not I don't know why, but M. Okay. I have no idea where I'm going. He's chuckling at me now. Tom. Yeah, I think his first name is Tom or Thomas. Yeah. Oh, I see what you're trying to say there.
Thomas Merton. Thomas Merton?
That's right. You got it.
Okay.
What is the letter
Religious
M? I don't
name
think that's his
was
last name.
religious name M. Lewis, was an American Trappist monk, theologian, mystic, poet, and social activist.
Okay. That's why he's giving me M. Okay. Next.
He wrote 50 books in 27 years on spirituality, social justice, and passivism.
Pacifism. He's laughing at you. Okay.
Pacifism.
This one I know. He's been popping in all day.
Ernest Shackleton.
Yep. It's been popping in all day.
Uh-huh. Oh, no. Did she just jump out?
Yeah. The energy was clearly too high. It's fine. Hopefully she'll come back in and we can continue. So.
Have you heard of Thomas Merton before?
No, I haven't. So I have to definitely look it up. So, but no, it's not.
Yeah.
I mean, the Buddhist monk and, all that kind of energy vibration doesn't surprise me, but I've not heard the name. So.
Uh-huh. Me neither. Okay. So his one of his books is called The 7-Story Mountain.
Ah, okay, nice. Christy's
so I'm reading this off of Google, off of Wikipedia here.
Okay, Christy is back, or she's coming back. Oh no, she was. She's disappeared again. Okay. So just so everyone knows, we're recording this on the day of Mercury retrograde beginning. Energy's high. We're channeling high. So yeah, I'm not surprised.
Full moon tonight.
Yeah, all happening at the same time.
Yeah, it's a waning. Oh, it's a what's apogee moon? Is that right?
That was a strawberry moon, but yeah, I could be wrong. So it's showing Christine twice. There you go. We have two of her. Let's see if one of them can.
Wow, that's
join
funny.
us on screen.
There's one
go.
On your end, it's just the energy's too high, the vibe's too high. It's
yeah, the energy's too high.
It happens a lot when we
continue.
do dead talks. Okay.
Yeah.
I was telling you guys that it was like the cold wind, but he's been around all morning, which is the first time that's ever happened. So we'll see. Move on here because we're almost time. Okay. They say that neither one of them got the life that they expected. Yeah, Ernest says his greatest event, what do you want to call it? Expedition. Okay. Expedition turned into a survival event. And Merton says he started with so many and they're laughing, things that he thought he knew, just like what we were talking about, in religion, and his search over his life just dismantled continuously things that he thought he knew. And so what they want to talk about today is what we do when when life doesn't, it's funny, when life doesn't go according to plan, it's not just about relationships falling apart or careers changing or money dissolving or even health challenges. It's not just that, but that very deep experience of disappointment and worry, feeling behind and wondering if we're doing things correctly. That's what they want to share. Like, that's the thing that they're going to talk about with us. They are a really interesting energy. One is really like all about movement and forward, and the other one is still. So I feel like I'm going back and forth. I'm trying to figure out how I can hear them when they go together. When they speak together, it may be actually easier. So
let me tell
okay,
Nims. So earlier today, Christy got in Ernest Shackleton, who was an Antarctic explorer in the late 1800s. And this has never happened before. So I was able to look him up and stuff. But he went on all these adventures. And one of the greatest ones was a lot of them, they almost died every time. And they wrote about him saying that if you're ever in a disaster and you need to survive, make sure Shackleton's with you.
Nice.
So he was always adventuring and traveling.
Nice.
Yeah.
And actually, together
that's
they make
funny.
a
I didn't
combination,
know.
right?
Right.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I did not know that part that you just said. That's cool.
Yeah.
Because I don't like to really know anything. Once he was coming through, I'd text him and say, okay, I've got something. Let's see what's happening. But yeah, they've never come in before a podcast or before we do ours. So it's really interesting that he did. Okay. So this is what they say when we're young, we think that if we imagine our destination, have a clear goal, have achievements and relationships, what they call certainties. We think if we make good choices and we work hard enough, that life is going to unfold according to our design, right? Our plan. And then we get introduced to mystery, they call it. So a door closes, they say, a dream will dissolve, a relationship changes, and a certainty vanishes. And all of a sudden, we're where we never planned to be, never intended to be. And what they want to talk about is clearly this happens. And this isn't about why this happens, but it's about who we become when it does. So they say they haven't come together to discuss success. It's to discuss what happens when life refuses to cooperate with our expectations, right? So, and it's almost like life is determined to surprise us, right? It's determined to do that because they say reality is actually alive. Your mind prefers this certainty, but reality is actually about creation. Mind wants a map, and reality just offers this landscape. And the map is really useful until the landscape changes. And life then asks us to participate rather than to predict. So that is right. That is really interesting. So, okay, they say that like there's the three of us here, and what Gary and I teach, and you also, they say also resonate with, is that suffering comes far less from actually what happens and more from our resistance to what's happening. And that resistance is this refusal to remain in a relationship with what is happening, right? That when we declare that, I love the way they're putting this, when we declare that reality should be different than it is, that should not have happened. She should be nicer. He should call his grandparents more often, right? All these little things that then we start fighting this present moment. And they say they're here to tell us the present moment never loses. Stop fighting it. It's really good.
I love it.
Like
And
Ernest
I'm
says,
sure
the
everybody
ice
can
taught
relate to
him.
this, right? Yeah,
Right,
it feels like
Yeah,
everybody's
the
going
ice
through
taught
that
him
right
that
now, right?
lesson.
The
It's
expectations,
really
yeah,
good.
feels so
Yes.
appropriate.
So
Love
yeah,
it.
they're good, right? So they say so. This is okay. Together, separate, together. That most people listening to this, most people, even those on a spiritual path, treat challenging emotions that we think feel bad, as an enemy. We do everything we can to make sure that in the future we don't feel a negative emotion. We, send the card, we get there on time, we don't do this, we don't do that, so that we don't get in trouble and feel some sort of negative emotion. We don't have a car breakdown. It's really funny how they're showing it to me, and it's even funnier than I've ever thought about it before, about how we try to control everything so that we don't have to feel bad. And they say that's impossible, right? And the emotions are our system for understanding where we're vibrating. So they are messengers. The painful emotions, all emotions, but the painful ones are information. Something that we believe, they say, I love this, is colliding with something that is occurring in our reality. The emotion that we feel reveals the collision. Wow. Yeah, that's really cool. So fear is that moment where we understand that our expectations have exceeded reality. And they say this isn't a failure, it's information. This is why two people can experience the exact same event and come away with a completely different meaning or understanding and emotion. Because it's not the event. It's not the flat tire or the divorce or the boss yelling at you. That doesn't create the emotion, right? It's the interpretation of the event. In some situations, one person will see an ending and someone else will see a beginning, but the event is the same. It's just the meaning is different, right? So the same storm can be seen as a disaster or an opportunity. So perspective is what determines our experience. So they say acceptance is just seeing clearly, right? It's just understanding that what is happening, and it doesn't mean anything. It isn't going to determine anything. It doesn't mean we are not going to get something we want, and it doesn't mean we are going to get something we want, and it doesn't mean anything about us. It is just neutral, right? Our participation with it, right? Responding to it, accepting, even if we don't like it, that this is what's happening. And acceptance then is funny. Acceptance without action becomes very passive, but an action without any acceptance then immediately becomes a struggle. Wisdom, they say, requires both. This understanding that the only thing that's happening is that our belief structure is colliding with something that is occurring out here. And that's where the emotion comes from. And it could be positive or negative, right? So it's very cool. Like they talk about surrender. And they say that's not withdrawal, right? It's actually intimacy, surrender. Wow. Okay. I had to take that for a second to think about it for a minute. So you become so available to your reality, to the present moment, that you can fully engage with whatever life is bringing to you. And this participation with it is just cooperating with that unfolding moment, right? That moment as it comes, right? That's what it is. And it's really interesting. So they say when the plan dies, that's when the real journey begins. And they're sort of pointing to you. They're saying that's exactly right. Your plan died, and that's when you actually started your journey. Is this right? Do I understand
What was
that
your
right?
plan?
Okay.
Oh, I was in corporate for many years, and that didn't fit. So that was it was a complete change. My expectations of what my life was going to be and where I ended up is, I love it, but it's totally different. So yeah, I resonate so much with what everything that's been said.
Us too.
Sure. I'm
Right?
sure. I'm
It's
sure. It's
so
like when you
different.
let go of the expectation, it's so beautiful. I love it. It's so
It's so
when you let
interesting.
go, it's
So
in our head, right? I love it.
yeah. So they say, like, people always imagine that there's some correct answer out there to our questions. Should I leave? Should I wait? Should I act? Should I trust? Should I keep trying? Right? These sorts of things. And these are questions that humans are asking all the time. And we think that there's some right or wrong answer, right? There is a correct answer out there, a sign, some sort of certainty, some sort of guarantee. And they say they both searched for those things themselves too. But before we ask those questions is another question that is, are you responding to reality? Are you responding to life, or are you responding to fear? So fear can disguise itself as patience, or action, loyalty, wisdom, right? And the challenge isn't really choosing correctly, it's seeing clearly. And once you see, then the next step becomes fairly obvious, right? What
Nice.
we're seeking, they say, is permission for the future. We want this certainty, and we want to know that our choice is going to lead where we hope it will lead, right? But the future is very silent. It does not speak to us.
Wow.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful the way they said that. So they say
it's
there's
the present where the
it
magic is,
offers,
right? Is what they're saying.
right. That's really
Present.
beautiful. The
That's
future is silent.
mm,
I've never heard it said that way, and I love it. So that, right, because we're not offered any guarantees, because that would eliminate this experience that we are really here to have, right? The outcome is unknown. So when you ask, should I trust? I just will trust what? The outcome?
yeah.
I say no. The outcome's unknown. Trust your ability to meet whatever comes. Right? Trust that, and understand that the only thing you are ever afraid of is negative emotion. The only thing you're afraid of is that you will feel bad. If I lose this, I will feel bad, right? If my kid isn't happy, I will feel bad. If I'm late for this appointment and I get fired, I will feel bad. It has nothing. If I'm homeless and alone, I'll feel bad, right? It's not the thing we're afraid of. It's the way we're going to feel, we think. And they say the same is true for positive emotion. The only reason, for the most part, that we think we want something is because we think it's going to make us feel something that we don't feel right now. I don't feel abundant, so I want, right, this thing. I don't feel loved, so I want this relationship. For the most part,
it's like
that's
almost looking
what
for
we're
a
doing.
fix. Yeah.
Yes,
It's like looking for a fix that's outside of you.
Right. So our fear is all wrapped in to the possibility of negative emotion. And they just want everyone to sort of sit with that and realize that that's it. If someone, this person I'm close to, dies, I'll never be happy again. If my friend is sad and unhappy, I'm going to be sad and unhappy. It isn't about what's out there, even in that instance. It's about how you're going to feel. And that's what they, right? That's what they, right. It's so, right. It's so interesting. Right. So they say when you stop arguing with the present moment and become curious, rather than saying, why is all of this happening to me? Why did this happen to me? Why did that happen? To understand that the opposite is the case, that it's a gift being given to you, right? What is this gift about? How is this happening? Right? How is this happening for me? And they say, once you do that, then the next step, the next idea begins to reveal itself inside that curiosity.
Yeah.
Right. That's what it is. Wow. Yeah. So that's it. That's what they want to say.
Our expectation. I love it.
Yeah.
Do you have a question?
No, I resonate so much. I resonate so much. It's just that letting go of the expectation of the outcome. No, I love it. It's so wise. So I would, I feel, I mean, you can ask them, I feel like it's what everybody's feeling in this moment. I feel like it's this energy that we're feeling right now where we're being asked to trust whatever's coming next and letting go of the outcome. And that's where I feel the struggle is. So I love it. I resonate so much.
Yeah,
I gotta thank them for showing up.
I have a question.
Sure.
So it seems like humans naturally...
You can ask a question. You can ask them anytime.
It seems like humans are naturally desire certainty. Like certainty, comfort, safety, security, right? This is what we all want. Yet from the non-physical, from their perspective, it almost seems like we are natural born adventurers and explorers. So it's sort of like a paradox there. From the non-physical, we come to Earth specifically because we're going to forget who we are and we're going to feel separate, and we must be courageous to come here, right?
Yeah.
So the soul itself must be an adventurer, while the human is in conflict because the human wants certainty.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see what they say. They love they do like the explorer word, and they say it's because we're both. The desire for certainty belongs largely to the human experience, but we are human, and the desire for exploration belongs largely to that deeper aspect of us. It's the tension between those two things, those two impulses, almost is the way they're sort of showing it to me. And it's they say that in itself is one of the greatest creative forces in the universe of a lifetime. The human wants safety and predictability and continuity, and the soul wants discovery, expansion, revelation, right? These things. Both are fine. But the friction comes when one wants to fully eliminate the other one, right? When we want to deny one or the other. If they say, okay, like in your vibration, this desire for certainty they're talking about, but they say if it was a fact that humans truly wanted certainty above everything else, no one would ever leave their cave or their house. Yeah. Nobody would ever fall in love. No one would ever start a business. No one would have kids, right? None of that would happen. Nobody would even create art. And we do those things every day, even while saying we want certainty. It's us not knowing our true nature that comes out of that, like that question. That's what you're pointing to. Wow. That's so cool. So it's,
I love it.
Just, certainty is just what the mind asks for, while exploration is what the heart asks for. right? And
Wow.
that's right. That's it. It's where look at that, and they say, examine your life very carefully. And you'll discover that the moments you cherish the most were not the moments of certainty, right? And it was the moments that surprised you, changed you, moments of discovery and aliveness. And it is that
Wow.
tension that creates an energy that's necessary for creation on this planet. Yeah.
Wow.
Great.
It
Wow.
resonates. So we
That's
need both,
cool.
right? We need balance.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love it.
That's the way they showed it to me. Yeah. It's
Resonates
like you need
so
the
much.
positive.
Yeah.
You need the positive and
Yeah.
negative and the light and the dark, right? It's all there for a reason.
Yeah. It's all
Yeah.
it's all
Neither
beautiful.
one's bad.
Yeah.
They're
Please
all
thank
good.
them. Yeah. So
Yeah.
thank you. Thank them for. We could carry on this conversation for hours, I'm
Absolutely.
sure. I just
You
I love
can.
this
You
type
can
of
see
insight.
why we
It's
do
such a
these.
beautiful. Yeah. And it takes 4 hours. I see why it takes 4 hours for sure.
Right. You can see it. Yeah. 100%.
Beautiful, beautiful. But yes, I thank you. You guys can come back and do this again and again. I'm all for it. It's like I feel the energy and the vibration of them. It feels like, it feels like some of the things that when I talk, because I talk a lot about the disconnect between the spirit, the heart, and the human, and actually what they were saying resonates so much. So I love it. So thank you for that.
Yeah, well, I think
a
they
little conscious of
specifically
time.
come
Yeah.
in because it's something for you, right? Their
Yeah,
energy,
it resonates.
what they
Yeah.
want to talk about, is brought really in by you, and so
Yeah.
it might be interesting for you to learn a bit more about the two of them and
No, I will
see
do.
how you
Yeah, I'll
connect.
definitely.
Be
And
interesting.
maybe
Yeah.
I've already been channeling them, right? I don't. None of my information is
Right.
mine, so who knows? Maybe it's been coming from them. I love it. I love it. So yeah. So as we start to close, I'd love for you guys to share. How can people reach out? What's the best way? And I know Gary said you got something new coming up, so please share away.
Yeah, this new program is called the Freedom Project, and it originated in a session I had with Christy, who brought in my inner self, whose name is Topio. So we had this long conversation with Topio, and we both asked, how do we create something like the boot camp that doesn't have to be taken over and over again and works with everyone wherever they work? Because the boot camp was really far out there, really advanced. And they said, start with this process called perspective mapping. And so what we do is we take someone, they fill out a series of surveys, many questions about all areas of their life. Then the person and I get together, I enter their field, and we drill down into where their perspective is now, their perspective on themselves in every area of their life. Then they have a spirit guide reading with Christy. Christy brings in their spirit guides, and the spirit guides talk about pre-birth intentions, what their core limiting beliefs are, maybe all kinds of different things, and prepares them for what to do over this 100-day journey. Then from all of that, we start selecting these daily modules, which are reading and meditation and exercises and all these things that the person does in a day or 2 days. And they get 100 of these modules. The modules are customized for that person, where their perspective is and their arc of transformation. So no one gets the same course. It's completely customized for that person, for what their spirit guides say they're intending to do with their pre-birth intentions, and to get them to this next shift in their perspective. And so that's been phenomenally fun and exciting and interesting. So really, we were booked up in that because so much work, you can imagine.
Yeah,
but
I can imagine. Yeah.
I would say the way to find out is listen to the Joshua Live podcast or an Unimaginable Life, or just send me an email to garybodley@gmail.com. And
Cool.
They can also visit Christy's website, which is Christy@ChristyLevy.com.
Yeah. And we'll include all that in the show notes, right? So all
Great.
the links, etc. So beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So yeah, as we start to close, Christy, anything you want to share with us? Anything that's in your heart? Anything you want to?
Well, I think the biggest thing to take away, it's just something I'm sitting with from what we just channeled is, and I know this, but that reminder that any little thing that I feel, whether that's negative emotion or positive emotion, it's telling me something about what I believe about myself. And sometimes, as much as I teach this and go through, I can forget that. And I think it was a good reminder for me. Just understand there's nothing to be afraid of. It's just what you're believing about yourself, and that you can shift. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I mean, I say that sort of stuff all the time. Everything that's happening to you is serving you in some kind of way. And, there's two parts to you that are kind of disconnected right now. So it's like it resonates, but also it's good for me to hear. So thank you. It's a nice reminder for me too, right? So thank you. I appreciate you guys. There's a lot of love here. There's a lot of vibration. Gary, is there anything you want to say as we close?
I had something I was going to say and I forgot. Something brilliant.
Maybe you need to come back. It's all good. It's all good.
Oh, here's what we've learned recently is that this entire reality is a responsive reality that serves one purpose and one thing only, not to get you what you think you want, but for your expansion as you intended prior to your birth. That's all that's happening. And that system is going to get you there, whether you think you're getting there from your human perspective. But when you return to non-physical, it's clear every single person we talk to from the non-physical says their life was perfect.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. It resonates so much. Sending you guys so much love and light. Like I said, we'll include everything in the show notes. And thank you for being here.
Great.
Thank you for shining your light. Thank you for being such an open channel. Appreciate you and sending so much love and light out to you, to everybody on the planet, everyone listening. And reach out to these guys. Thank you.
Thanks, Dims.
Thanks.